There are more than 7.7 million species of animals on the planet, and more than 20% are in danger of extinction. Some of the strangest animals on our planet walk the tightrope of total annihilation. Today we will see 10 of the species closest to extinction, due, among other things, to human beings themselves. Number 10. The Great Bengal tiger is the largest feline in the world, but its majesty and fame have been one of the reasons why there are barely a few thousand living specimens today. These tigers are the largest members of the cat family and are famous for their power and strength. There were once 8 subspecies of tiger, but 3 became extinct during the 20th century. Until recently, the Bengal tiger was considered the second largest subspecies, behind the Siberian tiger. However, some studies confirm that it is the largest subspecies, with males reaching up to 550 pounds in central India, and even 600 in the case of a male from Ranthambore National Park, in India. The International Union for Conservation of Nature estimates that there are between 2,600 and less than 4,000 specimens of these powerful tigers in the world. The great threat of tigers, in addition to the fragmentation and deterioration of their habitats, is that they are hunted as trophies and also for some parts of their body that are used in traditional Chinese medicine. All tiger subspecies are endangered and continue to decline despite attempts to implement numerous conservation programs. Number 9. The giant panda bear is an iconic and emblematic species of China. Although it has been a symbol of conservation and is loved around the world, the giant panda is endangered. The panda's main food is bamboo, around 99% of its diet, although it also feeds on fruits, small mammals, fish, and insects. It is a good climber, although it is rarely seen in trees. It adapts to captivity and thanks to its fur it easily withstands the winter conditions of its habitat. Outwardly, the panda resembles a bear of contrasting coloration. The Sichuan panda has the well-known black and white coat, while the Qingling subspecies has a coat of 2 contrasting shades of brown or black depending on age. The babies weigh 0.2 to 0.3 pounds at birth, and they barely have hair. Adults can weigh between 155 and 275 pounds and measure up to 6.2 feet. Giant pandas have a relatively low reproduction rate, however, by 2022 it was estimated that the total population would exceed 2,000 individuals, of which 1,864 live in the wild, which shows that the number of pandas living in the wild is increasing. Number 8. The Iberian lynx is a species of carnivorous mammal of the Felidae family, endemic to the Iberian Peninsula, known internationally for its recovery after being in critical danger of extinction at the beginning of the 21st century. In 2002, only 94 individuals could be counted, of which 58 adults and only 27 females in a reproductive situation, distributed in 2 populations, in Andalusia, isolated from each other. After numerous conservation and recovery efforts, in 2022 a population of 1,365 specimens in the wild was estimated, distributed mainly throughout Andalusia. It is a graceful-looking feline, with long legs and a short tail with a black tassel at the end that it usually keeps upright, beating it in moments of danger or excitement. Its characteristic pointed ears are terminated in a brush of stiff black hairs, and the sideburns that hang from its cheeks are also characteristic. They appear after 1 year of life, when they barely hang below the chin and increase in size with age. The main threats to the species are human-induced mortality, especially from being run over by motor vehicles, but also from direct poaching, installation of traps and snares aimed at other species, and illegal poisoning. Number 7. The mountain gorilla is a subspecies of gorilla that lives in the dense jungles of the mountains of Central Africa. They are found in the mountainous areas of Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These gorillas are known for their imposing size and are one of the most emblematic species of primates. The mountain gorilla faces several threats that have led to it being classified as endangered. Human expansion, agriculture, and forest clearing have significantly reduced the natural habitat of mountain gorillas. Likewise, poaching, driven in part by the demand for wild meat and the capture of young for the illegal pet trade, represents a constant threat. Furthermore, armed conflicts in the region have exacerbated the situation by negatively affecting the protection of gorillas and their habitats. These gorillas are also susceptible to human-borne diseases, and the proximity between these primates and human communities increases the risk of transmission of diseases such as Ebola. Currently, there are only 1,063 specimens left in the world, so various organizations and national parks are involved in initiatives to preserve this species and ensure its long-term survival. Number 6. The Mexican axolotl is a salamander with the unusual characteristic of retaining its larval traits throughout its adult life. This condition, known as neoteny, means that it retains its tadpole-like dorsal fin, which runs almost the entire length of its body, and its external gills, which protrude from the back of its wide head in the form of feathers. This unique amphibian, of which it is estimated that there are about 1,000 individuals left, is in critical danger of extinction according to the Red List of the International Union for Conservation of Nature, due to the loss of habitat, the introduction of invasive species in its habitat, overexploitation, pollution, and its consumption as food. The axolotl, a close relative of the tiger salamander, can be quite large and reaches lengths of up to 1 feet, although its average size is 0.5 feet. The axolotl is usually black or mottled brown, although albino and white varieties are also relatively common, especially among captive-bred specimens. The axolotl is long-lived, reaching up to 15 years, feeding on mollusks, worms, insect larvae, crustaceans, and some fish. This species, accustomed to the role of predator in its habitat, has begun to suffer from the introduction of large fish into its lake habitat. Number 5. The Tapanuli orangutan is the most recently identified species of orangutan and lives in the Tapanuli region, on the island of Sumatra, Indonesia. Despite being the most recently discovered species of orangutan, it is already critically endangered due to various threats. This orangutan is the most endangered of all great ape species. Its total population has been estimated as less than 800 individuals. It is suspected that until relatively recently, its distribution would have been more extended to the south and west than it was when it was discovered. These apes spend almost their entire lives in trees, swinging in the treetops and building nests to sleep in. Their slim build, with distinctive small eyes and red fur, differentiates them from most other species. The Tapanuli orangutan population is small and isolated, increasing the risk of inbreeding and loss of genetic diversity. This makes the species more vulnerable to diseases and environmental changes. Likewise, the construction of infrastructure, such as roads and dams, increases pressure on the Tapanuli orangutan's habitat and can result in direct conflicts with humans. Number 4. The Sumatran tiger is a species of carnivorous mammal of the feline family. It is a subspecies of tiger found only on the island of Sumatra, Indonesia. The wild population is estimated between 350 and 400 animals, most of which are grouped into 5 national parks on the island. The Sumatran tiger is the smallest of the tigers that survive today, although until the 20th century 2 other smaller subspecies could be found, the Javan tiger and the Balinese tiger, also native to Indonesia. Males measure an average of 7.5 feet from head to tail and weigh about 245 pounds, females measure 7.2 feet and weigh around 200 pounds. Deforestation in Sumatra, caused primarily by the expansion of agriculture, timber logging, and land conversion for palm oil production, has dramatically reduced the Sumatran tiger's natural habitat. Likewise, as natural habitats decline, human-tiger conflicts increase, as tigers may attack livestock and, in some cases, people, leading to retaliation by local communities. Number 3. The California condor, Californian condor or northern condor, is a species of bird in the family Cathartidae related to the Andean condor. It lives in northern Arizona and southern Utah, including the Grand Canyon area and Zion National Park, the coastal mountains of central and southern California, and northern Baja California. The plumage is black with white spots on the underside of the wings. The head is largely bald, with skin color ranging from gray in young birds to bright orange and yellow in breeding adults. Its 10-foot wingspan is the largest of any North American bird, and its weight of up to 26 pounds makes it nearly equal to that of the trumpeter swan, the largest of any native North American bird species. These birds have considerable longevity, as they can reach 50 years. Among the causes of the decline of this species are hunting for religious and mystical reasons, the reduction of its habitat and the scarcity of its food. Currently there are only about 200 living in the wild and another 50 in captivity. Number 2. The snow leopard, also known as the ibis or mountain ghost, is a species of feline that lives in the mountainous regions of Central and South Asia, including areas such as the Himalayas and the mountains of southern Siberia. Despite its amazing adaptation to cold, elevated environments, the snow leopard faces several threats that have led it to be considered an endangered species. The population of this leopard has fallen by 45% in the last 20 years. In the last census carried out in the years 2022 to 2023, 134 specimens were counted, compared to 96 in 2016. Species trafficking is one of its main threats. Poachers set traps or stalks to hunt them and trade their skins or bones, highly coveted in Asian medicine. Often, these traps have their legs amputated and they die unable to get food. Like the rest of the world's species, climate change adds the finishing touch by accelerating habitat loss. In the case of the snow leopard it is more serious, since it lives in the mountains above 3,000 meters high such as the Himalayas, an ecosystem that is very vulnerable to the effects of climate change. Number 1. The northern white rhinoceros is a species of perissodactyl mammal of the family Rhinocerotidae, and the largest of the 5 species of rhinoceros that exist. It is the 4th largest land animal and the 4th heaviest land mammal after the 3 species of elephant. It can reach 13.8 feet in length, 6.2 feet in height and up to 4.5 tons in the largest specimens. White rhinos are actually gray in color, a little lighter than black rhinos, so there are various theories that try to explain the origin of their common name. The white rhinoceros is in extinction due mainly to poaching, due to the high value of its horns on the black market. Although horns are mainly composed of keratin, the same substance as human nails, there is a persistent demand, especially in some Asian cultures, where they are attributed with unproven medicinal properties and are prized as luxury objects. Currently the northern white rhino survives only in captivity, and after the disappearance of Sudan, the last male of the species, there are only 2 remaining females, and it seems that their chances of survival are very slim. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, so we can bring you more of history's finest tops, from around the world.